Hey there movie fans, I'm John Andersen, and continuing my series on Christopher Nolan films leading up to the release of Dunkirk this July, we already took a look at Following, Memento, Insomnia, and The Prestige, which if you haven't seen my reviews of those films, be sure to click the card above for a link to the playlist. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at Nolan's dream heist picture. Inception was Nolan's follow-up to arguably his biggest success, The Dark Knight, and everyone, including myself, was anxious to see what he was going to do next. Inception had an intriguing premise and a stacked cast, leaving the door open for undoubtable success. Inception follows Cobb and his team of dream extractors as they attempt to plant an idea in a businessman's mind by diving deeper and deeper into his subconscious. Now on paper this kind of sounds like a Magic School Bus episode, but Nolan finds a way to craft this concept into his signature grounded style. Inception has often been criticized as very confusing, but I always found the story structure to be fairly simple, as the act of Inception is like a pyramid. The more levels you go down, the more time and space accumulates, as well as there being multiple expository scenes throughout the film. Now typically I hate expository elements in film, however Nolan handles this aspect to the best of his ability. The story calls for a lot of exposition by nature of the concept, and he chooses to use Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character Arthur as the main source of exposition. But by adding Ellen Page's character Ariadne, she's learning the world's rules at the same time as the audience, making the information feel more organic and less forced. Though I just praise Nolan for how organic his exposition feels, the biggest issue I have with the film is how the plot feels overly systematic in the sense that each scene is a consequence of the last and makes the events of the film feel more contrived. For example, Cobb is obsessed with keeping the projection of his wife Mala alive, but the whole film he's hyper aware that she isn't real, and yet he relies on her in the opening sequence and is distracted by her appearance in the climax of the film when he clearly shouldn't be, making her appearance come off as a forced antagonist. Yet this film is unquestionably aesthetically beautiful, as Nolan and cinematographer Wally Pfister created iconic and unforgettable visuals that are instilled in my brain, and crafted the iconic hallway scene that still gives me chills every time I watch it. Hans Zimmer also brings his A-game with a bodacious and powerful score that adds so much gravitas and tension to the events occurring on screen. Overall, this film is a technical marvel, solidifying Nolan's talents as a director, but the plot does come off a little overly ambitious for its own good, and that's why for me, Inception is a really good movie. So those are my thoughts on Inception. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to join me later this month when we look at Interstellar. Also be sure to click right here to see my latest series review on Prometheus, and click over here to see my reviews from last weekend on The Mummy and It Comes at Night. Also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my social media links down in the description below. Until next time, don't forget to watch some movies.